Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1210.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, I'm going to share with you a poll and some research about why some Americans expect to work longer, except Generation Z. Now, recently I've been reporting about retirement and how people feel about it. I've reported things like more people are worried that they'll run out of money than they're worried about their own death, and the amount of money that people think they need to retire is $1.25 million. So this research is a little bit different from either of those things, and I thought it was very interesting and I wanted to share it with you. It says Americans think they'll need $1.27 million to retire comfortably, but they plan to work longer to amass that nest egg. The new magic number for retirement is up slightly from last year, when adults said they believed they needed $1.25 million to retire comfortably, according to new findings from Northwestern Mutual. High net worth individuals, those with more than $1 million in investable assets, believe they'll need $3 million to retire comfortably. I want to pause there because we have heard different studies say different things, and I have heard about $2.2 million as a previous number. So this $3 million number to retire comfortably is now even more than that. So that's the highest number I've heard so far in these polls. It goes on to say there's quite a gap, however, between what people have now and what they think they'll need. The average amount that U.S. adults have saved for retirement is only $89,300, up 3% from $86,869 in 2022, Northwestern Mutual found. Americans' magic number for retirement readiness continues to rise, said Aditi Javeri-Golkale, Chief Strategy Officer, Head of Institutional Investments, and President of Retail Investments at Northwestern Mutual. The good news is that they are saving and investing more for tomorrow, even in this time of high inflation and market volatility. That is a step in the right direction and a reverse of what we saw last year when the gap widened rather than narrowed. The challenging news is that there continues to be a big disparity between what they think they'll need to retire and what they've saved to date, Javeri-Golkale said. Among generations, Gen Z, which is those born between 1997 and 2012, is the most confident that they'll be financially prepared for retirement when the time comes. Older generations are more pessimistic. More than half of Generation X, which are those born between 1965 and 1980, say they won't be ready, and nearly half of millennials, those born between 1981 and 1996, and Boomers Plus, not yet retired, say the same. Boomers are those born between 1946 and 1964. Among age groups, people in their 50s expect to need the most for a comfortable retirement, over $1.5 million, they think. The numbers drop considerably for people in their 60s and 70s, largely because many of them are already in retirement. Overall, Americans on average plan to work until the age of 65, up from 64 last year and 62.6 in 2021. Interestingly, Gen Z is aiming to retire earlier at age 60, even as many are expecting to live to age 100, Northwestern Mutual said. Boomers Plus plan to work the longest, to age 71, while Gen Z expects to retire more than a decade earlier, at age 60. Millennials and Gen Xers plan to work to age 63 and 65, respectively. The study found that people who identify as disciplined financial planners knock 2 years off their retirement age at age 63. Informal or non-planners add 2 years to age 67. The study explored what Americans are most looking forward to about retirement, as well as their greatest concerns. People are most looking forward to relaxing, 55%, getting family time, 51%, and traveling, 48%. Those activities beat out volunteering, 17%, a second career, 13%, and doing something entrepreneurial, 11%. People are most concerned about declining health, 44%, outliving savings, 43%, and boredom. What people won't miss? Work. Very few people said they were concerned about missing their career, 16%. What stood out to us in these findings is that concerns about outliving savings came in virtually equal to declining health, said Javery Cockale. On average, Americans say there is a 45% chance they outlive their savings, and yet 1/3, 33%, haven't taken any steps to address it. For people who work with an advisor, the story is different. 9 out of 10, or 89%, have taken steps to address the possibility of outliving their savings. The study found 3 in 10, or 28% of Americans, think it's likely they'll live to age 100. But expectations are much greater among younger adults, with 40% of Gen Z and millennials expecting to hit triple digits. Interestingly, more men, 31%, than women, 26%, think they're likely to live to 100, when in fact mortality data suggests the opposite is true. Among centenarians in the U.S. today, 85% are women. Gen Z seeks to retire at age 60, and many of them believe they will live to age 100, Javery Cockale said. I think those are bold and fantastic goals, which means that they will have to be intentional about planning to live 4 decades of worry-free life in retirement. Interestingly, more than 4 in 10 Americans, or 42%, said they could imagine a time when Social Security no longer exists, according to the research. And yet, people are relying on Social Security to provide 28% of their overall retirement funding. That's more than personal savings, 22%, and equal to retirement savings, 28%. Gen Z and millennials have tempered expectations. They anticipate Social Security will provide 15% and 19% of their overall retirement funding, respectively. That's a significant drop from what Boomers Plus say at 38%. End of article. What these studies are telling me is that a lot of things are a moving target. A lot of what people think they need to retire is a moving target, maybe because of the inflation that we've had recently. They've really rethought what they need and maybe have bumped up their goals a bit. Also, as I've covered in other podcasts, more people are thinking about well-being than they are thinking about accumulating large sums of money. So if their focus is shifting more to well-being and health, that could also take the place of working on their finances or being concerned about their finances. One thing that these surveys don't address is opportunity. And I do believe that in the next several years, because of all the technological advances we're going to be experiencing, and because those things are speeding up, I do believe that the amount of wealth that's going to be created in this decade is going to surprise a lot of people. So if you're one of those who are behind the gun, starting late, don't feel you have enough accumulated, don't despair. I definitely believe that it's possible to achieve your financial goals in this decade. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And all of my podcasts are on my Wealth Mentoring library on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more wealth tips for your financial freedom. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.